In the world of power, there is a fundamental truth that most people fail to understand. Respect is not earned through kindness or friendship, but through the ability to invoke fear. Fear commands attention, and attention breeds respect. People respect what they cannot predict, control, or understand. They respect what might harm them, and they respect the one who withholds the ability to make or break them. This is the essence of power, the ability to control outcomes without being bound by emotion. Most people seek affection, they chase approval, and they desperately try to be liked. They believe that if others like them, they will gain the respect and influence they crave. But this is a profound misunderstanding of human nature. The truth is, people don't respect you because they like you. They respect you because they understand that crossing you, disrespecting you, or underestimating you comes at a cost. That cost is not necessarily physical. It could be professional, social, or psychological, but the principle remains. People give you respect when they fear the consequences of not doing so. It is time to stop trying to fit in, to stop desperately seeking people's approval, and to start realizing that the only way to truly be respected is by detaching yourself from the need for affection. The moment you stop seeking validation, you stop being vulnerable to manipulation. You become untouchable. Your power comes from the absence of need, and that absence of need is what breeds respect. Think about those who exude power: leaders, rulers, those who have the ability to change the course of events with a word or gesture. They are not the ones who try to win others over with warmth and charm. They are not the ones who apologize or make excuses for their behavior. Instead, they create boundaries, they establish standards, and above all, they make it clear that their respect is not something given freely. It must be earned. This detachment from emotional dependence is the first step in becoming a figure who commands respect without being liked. Detachment is not about being cold or unfeeling. It's about taking full control over your emotions, ensuring that your interactions are not driven by the pursuit of affection, but by strategic thinking. Detachment is about recognizing that your value is not determined by others' feelings toward you. When you no longer care whether people like you, you automatically place yourself in a position of power. You become someone who is above petty emotions, and that is what garners respect. Affection is a tool for manipulation. It is used to get others to do what you want, but it's a double-edged sword. While it might work temporarily, it will never give you the kind of lasting respect you need to dominate. The moment people sense that you need affection or validation, they sense your vulnerability, and vulnerability is a weakness that will be exploited. It is no different from a predator sensing fear in its prey. The moment you let others know that you crave their approval is the moment you lose your position of power. You become predictable. You become an object to be used, not a force to be reckoned with. So, how do you begin to detach from the need for affection? The first step is to recognize the cost of seeking approval. When you seek approval, you make yourself dependent on others. You give them power over you. This power dynamic is unstable at best and dangerous at worst. To shift the balance of power, you must remove the emotional tether that binds you to others' opinions. If you walk into a room knowing that their opinion of you doesn't matter, that you won't change your behavior or your stance based on what they think, you immediately establish authority. This is the essence of detachment. It's the act of stepping away from others' emotional influence and recognizing that their judgment is irrelevant to your own sense of value. You must believe with complete certainty that you do not need their approval. It's the practice of standing firm in your own beliefs and knowing that you are the one who sets the terms of engagement. When you become unshakable in your self-worth, you stop trying to prove anything to anyone. There is an undeniable allure to this type of detachment. People will respect you because they can't figure you out. They don't know what you want, how you think, or how you will respond. You become a force of nature, one whose actions are deliberate, calculated, and entirely unpredictable. And unpredictability is one of the most powerful weapons in the arsenal of someone who wishes to be respected, but not liked. The moment you detach yourself from the need for affection, you stop being predictable. You stop being the nice guy or the person others can easily manipulate. Instead, you become a mystery. You become a figure who can change the direction of events at will. someone who is not bound by the usual emotional constraints. Your actions become powerful because they come from a place of self-control, not from a place of need. To understand the power of detachment fully, consider a leader or ruler who is respected and feared. Their power doesn't come from their kindness or the affection of others. It comes from their ability to control their emotions and maintain their distance from the emotional manipulation of others. They are not swayed by the feelings of those around them. They are not dependent on others to validate their worth. Instead, they demand respect through the sheer force of their presence, their decisions, and their ability to make others see them as a force to be reckoned with. You must adopt the same mindset. Stop caring whether people like you. Stop measuring your worth by their opinions. Understand that your value is not up for negotiation. When you stop needing affection, when you stop depending on others to feel validated, you gain control over the most important asset, yourself. And it is from this position of self-mastery that true respect will flow toward you. Remember, detachment is the key to respect. It is the foundation upon which all other strategies of power are built. When you stop chasing affection, you create a void that commands attention. And in that void, people will fear you, fear your indifference, fear your unpredictability, and above all, fear the consequences of crossing you. So let go of the need to be liked. Embrace detachment, and let respect come to you. They will never forget you, not because you were pleasant, but because you made an indelible mark on their psyche. Presence is the ultimate power tool. It's the quiet force that demands attention without saying a word. You may not realize it, but every room you enter, every person you engage with, you leave a trace, a presence that either commands respect or fades into obscurity. True power lies not in what you do, but in how you make others feel when you are present. When you walk into a room, does the energy shift? Do heads turn? Are people subtly aware of your every movement, even if you say nothing? If your presence doesn't leave an impact, you're doing something wrong. A person who has mastered presence knows how to control the energy in a room and shape it to their advantage. Presence is not about volume or forceful gestures. It's about commanding the space with your aura, making sure that others take note and that they don't forget you. Presence is power because it doesn't need to be explained. It speaks for itself. The way you carry yourself, the way you move, the way you speak, all of it forms an impression on those around you. A person with presence is someone who is felt before they are seen, whose actions reverberate in the minds of others long after they leave the room. People will respect you, not because they like you, but because they can't forget you. You have burned yourself into their memory as someone worth paying attention to, someone whose presence demands acknowledgement. How do you master this art of unforgettable presence? First, you must stop trying to be liked. The moment you seek to be liked is the moment you lose the force of your presence. If you try to mold yourself to fit someone else's ideal, if you contort your personality in an attempt to gain approval, you become forgettable. You blend into the background because you've lost what makes you unique. Your authenticity is your power, and the more you try to please others, the more you dim your own light. True presence begins with self-assurance. You must exude the confidence that you don't need to chase others' approval. You are already complete. This kind of self-assurance doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from the quiet certainty that you belong in every space you occupy. When you believe that your presence alone is enough, others will begin to believe it too. They will start to take you seriously, and that seriousness will transform into respect. But respect isn't just given, it is earned. And it is earned by the impact you leave on others. In order to make your presence unforgettable, you must also be strategic in how you reveal yourself. Don't give everything away at once. Keep people intrigued. Be a mystery they are compelled to solve. The key to presence is not just being visible. It's being present in a way that others cannot ignore you. When you speak, say only what is necessary. But when you act, make sure every movement counts. Your gestures, your words, your actions. They should all serve to reinforce the idea that you are someone who deserves attention. People are drawn to what is scarce. Scarcity creates value, and when your presence becomes a rare event, people begin to place more value on it. This doesn't mean you should isolate yourself or become a recluse, but it does mean you must carefully manage how often you reveal yourself to others. Be unpredictable. Make your presence an event rather than a constant. When people know that your presence is a powerful thing, they will start to anticipate it and treat it with the respect it deserves. The most magnetic individuals are those who make others feel that their time and attention are valuable. They don't waste energy on meaningless conversations or insignificant relationships. They focus on making every moment count. And when they do speak, they do so with authority. Their words are deliberate, their tone is commanding, and their message is clear. People may not always like them, but they will always respect them because they leave a lasting impression. This is the power of presence, the ability to influence without saying a word, to command a room without needing to shout. When you master your presence, you no longer have to chase respect. It will come to you because people will begin to see that you are a force worth reckoning with. You must also learn the art of silence. The most powerful people in any room are often the quietest. They observe, they listen. They do not feel the need to dominate the conversation with their words because their presence speaks volumes. Silence gives you power because it creates space for others to fill. It allows you to control the tempo of the interaction and shifts the focus back onto you without you having to try. People will always wonder what you are thinking, why you are so composed, and what you will do next. And that curiosity will breed respect. To truly make your presence unforgettable, you must also understand the importance of body language. How you hold yourself speaks louder than anything you say. A person who slouches or fidgets gives the impression that they lack confidence, that they are unsure of themselves. But someone who stands tall, who walks with purpose, whose eyes never waver from the task at hand, commands attention. Your body is a tool for influencing how others perceive you. Learn to use it to convey strength, focus, and control. Every movement should reinforce your power, never detract from it. Your presence should also make others uncomfortable in a way they cannot articulate. They will respect you, not because they are drawn to you emotionally,